Hey guys, welcome back to Sunday Glow. I'm Allison.
I'm Christine.
Wow, okay, so the first week of the New Year's in the books. How are we feeling?
We are feeling good, kind of.
Okay, let's talk about it.
It's been a little weird. My brother has coronavirus and is quarantining with me because, it's just life. So I
Just
might be
sibling things.
I'm awaiting my test results to see if I also have coronavirus. And that should be an interesting twist to my first week of the new year. But what about you?
I've been okay as well. I think it's just crazy that, and we talked about this in our previous episode, like just because it's a new year, it doesn't mean that all the things that we were dealing with in 2020 we're not carrying over, which is obviously a little unfortunate, but I think as long as we're continuing to live each day as best as we can, that's all we can do.
Yeah, for sure. 2021 is not really like it's a new year, of course, but I feel like it's not really a crazy switch from 2020. Like it's still a continuation of time, like we're still pushing forward. So, we're really of course, we want to use this time to refresh, reset as the new year comes, but we can't ignore what happened in 2020. So,
Yeah. So I think that's a great perspective to have, is like recognizing everything that we've gone through in the past year, but also realizing that this can be a new year of a refreshed mindset and taking all the things that we want to accomplish in the new year, but also giving ourselves grace in the process. So,
for
love
sure.
that.
So, today we're going over how we stay motivated and how we get inspired. And we're super excited about this episode because we obviously, with like last week going over our goals, we want to keep that going and start our second episode with how we're staying motivated and getting inspired.
Totally. And I feel like I honestly, this week I was going on like my morning walks, and I was listening to a ton of podcasts about this like New Year motivation and how to sustain that New Year high, because obviously in the beginning of the new year it's so great to have these goals, but like how can we sustain that throughout? So that's really what we're hoping to provide you guys with, the motivation tips and the things that we do to stay motivated throughout the year.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this would be a really great episode for people to come back to in the future if you're feeling unmotivated and uninspired. I'm really hoping that I can do the same, because as much as like we want to talk about these things, give you guys advice, like we're human beings too, and like we are going to struggle just as much as the next person. So I think this would be a great way and a great resource to have to come back to and come
Totally.
get re-inspired and re-motivated. So
Yay! So with that, let's set the tone of the week and share our Sunday intentions. All right, Christine, tell us, what are you going into this new week with?
yeah, so for my Sunday intention, I really want to connect to my why and be more aware and questioning why I do certain things during the week. And I think this plays into how we get and stay motivated. And sometimes I tend to lose sight of my why, and I really only look towards the end goal. And I really need to recognize during this week that the journey is the biggest part of the entire like start to finish of reaching a goal, and I need to focus on that rather than saying this is the end goal, I need to get to it, or this is the beginning of the goal that is there. So really just focusing on why I'm doing my things that I'm doing during the week. I think sometimes we tend to lose sight of that, and at least I do, and I just kind of go mindlessly throughout my day, and I think I need to be more aware of what I'm doing. So that's my intention this week, is to really connect to my why. But what about you?
So my intention for the week is to reflect before I react. And I'm not gonna lie, this week I've had a lot of like personal battles with just like reacting kind of poorly to certain situations, and sometimes responding too quickly and not taking the time to really process what's going on, especially like with my family. I feel like I need to give them more grace and realize that their behavior is a reflection of them and what they're going through and not necessarily me. And I think something that I go through a lot is just taking things really personally. So that's just something I'm constantly dealing with. So this week, I really hope to take the time to process things before reacting, really take other people's perspectives into consideration before responding, and just working on my emotional maturity one day at a time.
I love that. And it kind of plays into one of your goals from last week, like listening, and I feel like you're getting a head start by making this your first intention.
Yes, it's, becoming a better listener, I think, is one of the key things of developing emotional maturity. So I feel like, yeah, we're doing the damn thing,
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so with that, let's hop into our current faves.
Okay, Christine, what is your current fave of the week?
Yeah, so my first fave is red lights. And what I mean by this are like the red light bulbs that you buy on like Amazon. You could probably buy them at Walmart, honestly. But I got mine on Amazon and I put it in my lamp next to my bed. And then I also have like the strip lights, which I also got on Amazon, and I put them around my TV in front of my bed. So at night I turn on both, and it's just so like relaxing, very soothing. My roommate makes fun of me for it because when she drives by my window, like in our apartment, like she'll like see my window and it's all red at night because I do it every single night. But it's so relaxing, and I feel like I sleep more smoothly like after like relaxing at night and like winding down with the red lights. And I also keep my room really cold, so my roommate also hates that. And so I love keeping a cold room. Just it like just helps me sleep at night and making sure that I'm getting the best sleep that I can. And I honestly get the best sleep ever. And I don't know if it's like the cold mixed with the red light at night when I wind down, but I sleep like a baby. And I usually don't when I was like living with my mom and stuff like that before I moved into my apartment. So that's my first fave. What's yours?
So my first fave is the Laneige lip mask, and this is my first like beauty fave. So I am notorious for having like very dry lips, but I'm also notorious for always having something on my lips. I love like lip balm and just things to hydrate your lips, especially in the winter. You don't want the dry, cracked skin, and the Laneige lip mask is so good. I feel like usually I've tried other lip products that leave my lips just feeling like the product is sitting on top of them, but it's not actually hydrating my lips, and this stuff really works. I love it. I swear by it. I tell all my friends to get it. They have the one in the tube, and they also have the one in the jar. I like the one in the jar. My sister likes the one in the tubes, but I love that. So, yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna buy it because you obviously convinced me to buy the Summer Fridays jet lag mask. And then I was looking at the Laneige lip mask when I was there, but the flavors, I'm just not, I don't know. I like a very simple like mint flavor. Like my candy cane chapstick, I buy every Christmas, and I buy a lot of them, and then I stock up for the entire year. But I don't know, I can't get on the flavors for the lip mask. I wish they had like a mint or like a no flavor. I don't know.
So they have like berry, they have vanilla, they actually have a mint chocolate chip, which I know that's a little bit too much. You don't like chocolate.
Yeah. Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, I don't eat chocolate at all. So
she does not like chocolate. I'm like, okay. If you want to try it and you want to get the one that's the least like strong, I would say the berry. I know vanilla's a little bit potent, but I actually really like it.
Yeah. I was smelling them when I was in Sephora, and they just seemed there were a lot.
Yeah.
But I heard Summer Fridays has a lip balm thing that they just started selling. I'm not sure. Maybe they started selling it a while ago. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But I kind of want to like branch out from my candy cane chapstick.
I'm dead. Is this the chapstick brand?
Yes, like the generic like I'm showing it to her right now, but it's like the chapstick candy cane brand. They come in packs of 5, and yeah, I stock up. Like, my family knows this. Every year I get like 2 or 3 packs, so I'll have like 10 to 15 of them. I don't even think I bought any this year because I just have so many extra. But yeah, I love this stuff. I also use, this is really bougie, but like I use the Chanel Hydra Beauty lip care at night, and it's like the one that's like in the pot, and it's really good. It's kind of expensive, but I honestly feel like it's just so good at night. It's very nourishing. So yeah. That's like total tangent.
No, Christine is notorious for just like finding the things that she loves and sticking with it, and like for years. It's so funny.
It's bad though, because I need to branch out. I don't branch out enough, but
you know, you like what you like.
Exactly.
If something's not messed up, like, why change it? I get that
that's
too.
That's true.
Okay. What's your second fave?
Yes. So second fave. My second fave, which is kind of funny considering the situation I'm in during the first week of the new year, but my second fave are the Chinese laundry suede black booties, and I have them linked on our website under probably fashion or clothes or some accessories, whatever. But they're just like black suede booties. They have a heel. They go up a little bit above the ankle, and they're so comfortable and so perfect for like dinners out and holiday outfits. I wore them for Thanksgiving, and I just wear them like with jeans, and they look so good. I didn't plan on keeping them because I also purchased some from Princess Polly like on Black Friday, and these ended up being like $50 or so from Nordstrom, and they were perfect. So yeah, I really love those, and they were an unexpected favorite that just kind of turned into one. And I think it's funny that I talked about that this week because now I'm just finding out that I might have COVID, so I'll be staying indoors for the next 10 days. But in the future and before the spring hits, I'm definitely going to get a lot of use out of them. So
you can never go wrong with the black booty, especially one that's like a chunky heel.
Yeah.
That's so comfortable. I feel like part of the reason why I never wear heels is because I can't walk in them. So
no, these are perfect.
These booties, yeah.
No, yeah, these are great. They're just a classic to have, and I didn't have them before, and I don't know why, but I'm glad I do now. So
we love a closet staple, yes.
For sure. What's your second fave?
Okay, this is funny. So for Christmas, the one gift I asked for was a white robe. And if you know me in real life, you know I've been raving about this robe. So this is from the brand Parachute, and it's like a D2C Instagram first brand. They sell bedding, they sell towels, and they've gotten into like loungewear and stuff. And I got their cotton robe, and I'm not kidding you when the highlight of my day is post shower in a robe. Like, that is the highlight of my day, like peak happiness right there. So we are gonna have the white robe linked on our site, but you don't have to get this one if it's like out of your price range, or if you're just not into spending a ton of money on a robe. I get it, but just invest in a robe. Like, I feel so relaxed. I feel like I'm in a spa, and it just really sets the tone of like me getting ready. Like, I really like to view my getting ready as like a whole like ritual. Like, I just love the process of like putting my skincare on, putting my makeup on, like things like that. So if you're into that, highly recommend getting a nice plush robe.
I love that. Yeah. I actually just got one for Christmas too. I hate it. We're so similar. I asked my brother, I was like, he was like, what do you want? And I was like, he actually texted Allison. He was like, what does my sister want? And Allison sent him the link. And then I ended up getting the Barefoot Dreams one just because I love Barefoot Dreams. And it's funny because when I first got it, I literally used it as a blanket because it was so soft and comfortable. But yeah, totally agree. A robe is such a necessity, especially one that's like super soft and comfy. So
it was just so funny because Robert, he texted me and he was like, what does Christy want for Christmas? She asked for a robe, I think. And he was like, do you remember what brand? I'm like, yep, Barefoot Dreams, done. Send the link. Get it.
I love it.
Okay, awesome. So be sure to check out more of our faves on our website at sundayglowpod.com. And with that, let's dive into this week's episode.
Yeah, so last week we talked about our goals for the new year and the intentions we're setting for 2021. And with the new year in full swing, we're so excited to dive deeper into how we can plan on achieving those goals and sustaining that motivation. So, in today's episode, we're going to talk about all things motivation, from understanding what it is, shifting our mindset about it, and really going over the things we do to get motivated.
So before we dive deeper into providing like the tangible things that we do to get motivated, we both thought it would be a great idea to kind of have a discussion about what motivation is. So after looking it up, motivation is defined as the thing that causes you to act. So it's that process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors. And I was just telling Christine this, but one of my favorite books is by Brianna Wiest, and it's called The 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think. And she's amazing. She defines motivation as our ability to extract our own benefit out of whatever we're doing. So I think that was honestly like a revelation in itself of understanding that motivation can only work when we're able to attach like a personal benefit to whatever we're doing. And I think that really even connects to what Christine was saying about connecting to your why. So the key to get motivated, according to this definition, is to, again, attach a personal benefit to everything you do. You really want to attach a purpose for doing something that goes beyond getting it done. You want to get a reason for doing something that aligns with who you are and who you want to be. And like Christy mentioned before, it's really your defining why. And that's another reason why it's so important to choose goals that align with your most authentic self. It's not about what everyone else is doing or about what other people want, but what you want for yourself.
Yeah, I think that's so important. And I actually just got this book last night and I started reading it. And what really resonated with me was finding your why. And it's not because of what other people are doing, it's because of what you're doing. And focusing on that means that you can bring your best self to anything you put yourself in, any of the actions that you take in life. So I think that's so cool and so important.
100%. And so from everything we're saying, I concluded like, okay, so if motivation is the very thing that causes us to act, and if Brianna's definition is, okay, it's when you're able to extract a personal benefit from it, then the trick to get motivated is to first identify your personal motive, which will then translate to valued action. So valued action is really that action that's consistent, again, with the type of person you want to be and align with the values that you truly resonate with. So, for example, if one of my goals is to move my body every day, the personal benefit is the energy that I will get to really be present with my friends and family, to show up as the best friend and the daughter and the sister that I should be and can be to everyone in my life. So I think that is super important because I'm not so much focused on like, the agony or the pain or the struggle of like having to work out, but I'm more so looking forward to the energy and being able to be super present with my loved ones that I will get from working out.
Yeah, so it's really just taking a different look and perspective of like the things that you need to do and how you're going to show up. So I love that.
Okay, so the step to get motivated is just to make sure your goal is attached to a personal benefit that you resonate with. Identify what you want and how your actions will help you get there, and figure out what you value in life and really just start doing those things that align with the values. So, for example, if I really value close relationships with friends and family, that will translate into the valued action of I will call a loved one every day and have dinners without a phone. Or if I value staying healthy, I will move my body every day and fuel my body with the foods that make me feel good. So just start. Start where you are. Start with the fear. Start with the doubt. Start with what you have. Just start.
Yeah, I love that. I think what really resonated with me was the start with the doubt, start with the fear, because things are going to be hard and they're going to be tough to go through and to like get yourself up and do certain things, but it's going to be uncomfortable and we just have to accept that and know that your dream life really exists outside your comfort zone. So, with that, let's get into our tips for getting motivated this year. And I first wanted to start off with my biggest tip, and that's shifting your mindset. And that's one of the most powerful things that you can do for yourself, is just shifting your mindset from things happening to us to things happening for us. And I think that's the biggest thing, because When you shift your mindset, you're really shifting from a negative mindset to a positive one in every aspect of life, and really looking at things in your life as opportunities rather than tasks. So when you think of things with this mindset of, I don't have to do this, I get to do this, and this could be really through working out or getting up early or studying for a test or really just like doing your best work in your job, you're shifting your mindset from something negative to something more positive. And this will not only help with motivation, but this will also help with recognizing your blessings and being more grateful in life. And so when I was unmotivated to start working out in the beginning, I was like, okay, do I have to work out today? Probably not. Or do I get to work out today? And that's yes. I get to work out today because I have the blessing of having a body that can work out. And I think shifting your mindset is so important because it can help you have that motivation to get up and get going and get doing things. And you can't, of course, you don't have to work out every single day, but I think having this little mindset switch can be something that you might need.
No, totally. And I feel like the first thing that came to mind when you talked about the shifting mindset is, how do I do this? And for me, I like to do this if I wake up, let's say, in a bad mood, is flooding yourself with gratitude. So literally take out a piece of paper, take out your phone notes app, and just write like 3 things you're grateful for. Literally this morning, I was like grateful for a warm bed, grateful for to be able to sleep in a little bit, and grateful to walk around my neighborhood. And just automatically you're thinking about the things that you already have in your life, and you're not chasing after things that you don't have. You're not focusing on things that you don't have. So I think that's a great tip.
Yeah, and honestly, like with that, like what I took away from what you just said, like you're really just being present in yourself.
Totally.
And you're really just making sure that you're living each day to the fullest. And when you have this different shift in mindset, I feel like it just, the benefits of it outweigh the cost of saying like, I need to do this, I have to do this. You're just saying like, I get to do this. I get to get up in the morning and go to my job because I have a job. A lot of people don't have a job right now. Or I get to do this. I get to study for my tests because I get to attend a great university, or I get to attend a great high school. Sometimes you just have to think of it a different mindset, and it could really help you shift your idea of getting motivated. And also recognizing the fact that it is uncomfortable, and your dream life does exist outside your comfort zone. So we have to be really courageous when we're reaching our goals, and know that we're all on this journey of life, and all we can do is really just make the most out of each day. And I was actually listening to the Skinny Confidential podcast, and on one of their recent episodes, they were talking about being confident and dealing with challenges and stuff like that. And I suggest everyone go listen to it because it was great. They had a guest speaker on that was like a professional in this area. And they said there will be challenges. And when something bad happens, are you going to act like the victim in the situation, or are you going to get up and do something about it? So really just going in with this mindset, knowing that this lull of motivation is something happening for you and not to you, may be the switch that you need to move forward. So it really just starts with shifting your mindset and getting your mental side of your life on track. And you can implement this in your life by doing really small things. And the first thing that I did in the new year was create a vision board. And literally on my vision board, it says, your dream life exists outside your comfort zone. It also says shift your mindset. It says feel the fear and do it anyways. And to do is to live in the moment. So really just putting these little things that will remind you every day when you look at your phone, or even if you create a physical vision board in your room and hang it up. Just creating these little small things that can be a reminder each day. So you're literally envisioning yourself doing these things, and you're reminding yourself of these little affirmations in a sense.
And I think you touched upon something so important, is just that there's such power in visualization. Like that's why vision boards work, is because you're literally seeing yourself live the life you want to live. And you're basically telling yourself like, I already have that life. Like I already can see myself living that life. So that just gives you so much more power in the present, and to act towards achieving those goals that will get you there.
For sure.
So one of my first tips on how I get motivated is, I know it sounds so simple, but it's to just start. To start small and just ask yourself, like, what's one thing I can do today to get to where I want to be? So Christine and I were talking about this, like 1 year from now, where do I want to be? And I said, okay, I want to be glowing from the inside out, right? So in order to achieve that, how can I do that starting today? Or what can I do today that'll get me towards that direction? And the one thing I can do today is move my body. Maybe I can take a walk. Maybe I can do some Pilates. Just feel good today so that I can glow a year from now. Or something else I can do is I can read like 50 pages of my book that I've been putting off. And doing that, I can acquire more knowledge and I can just radiate that a year from now. I can take care of my skin in the morning and night so that building up that consistent skincare routine will allow me to glow a year from now. So I think once you're able to break down your overarching goal into a lot more digestible, smaller steps that you can accomplish in one day, in a week, in a month, it'll feel like you're so much closer to achieving that goal.
For sure. And I really loved what you said about breaking it up into digestible parts, because I think we created these like lofty goals at the beginning of the year, literally 1 week ago. We created these big goals that we wanted to achieve in 2021, and sometimes it could be a little daunting of where do I start, or how long is this going to take me, or how am I going to make sure that I get to the end. And so really just breaking it up, writing it down, saying like, I want to be a better listener is what one of your goals were, and saying, okay, well, how am I going to get there? And so this is like your push, if you guys needed it, to write it down, figure out what you're going to do this week that's going to end up helping you reach your goal at the end of the 52 weeks we have this year. So really just breaking it down. I love that. And starting small, and maybe even making like a weekly accomplishments that you want to achieve list.
No, something else that I think will allow you to continue to work towards your goals is not focusing so much on the end result. So let's just bring up the working out example. If I'm constantly focused on reaching a certain number or looking a certain way, I feel like you're gonna just be so stagnant in your everyday life, because you think that happiness and success is like a destination. It's a point that we arrive at. But I really believe that if you're enjoying yourself in the process, if you're focusing on, and like you said, like being present, that'll allow you to achieve your goals and be happy while achieving your goals. Not waiting to that point of, okay, I made it. Like, I don't think there even is like an aha moment where you made it, you know?
Yeah, and it's not like you can like, there's this big disconnect between the journey and like where you get. Because I think what you were saying, it's a continuous process. You end up getting to a point, maybe, yeah, you want to lose X amount of pounds, and you lose that X amount of pounds. There's not really, like, then you have to continue it. Like, it's not just going to stop there. And so just knowing that it's not the end goal, it's the journey that counts. And, like, that's the longest part of getting to the end goal is the journey. So really just making the most out of it and being completely present, because sometimes we don't reach our end goal, and you just have to, you can't just waste all of that time on the journey.
No, I get what you're saying. And I think that one of my favorite quotes that always reminds me of this is like, fall in love with the process of bettering yourself. Fall in love with the actual process of reading, you know, fall in love with actually pursuing a passion project and like the day-to-day, not just saying that you can check that off your to-do list. So I think that's really important, for sure.
For sure. I love that. And so our third tip is to really get accountable. And I think the best person for this, like, Allison and I have held each other accountable before. I remember there was a time when we would like send each other our meals. Maybe it was like a year ago. This is before you even went abroad, but I remember when we were first like talking about how we both want to reach our health goals, we were like sending each other messages and pictures of when we went to work out, or like what we had for breakfast. And we did it for a while, and I thought it was a great way to like hold each other accountable, making sure that we're, you know, keeping on track.
No, totally. I vividly remember, like, I would feel like, not guilty, but I'm like, oh my God, I have to send Christine this because she's holding me accountable.
Yeah.
So I think that, yeah, getting a friend to hold you accountable, not only are you already confiding in that person and you trust that person enough to let them know, like, hey, this is something that I really want to achieve. Like, I want you to be on this journey with me. But it also allows them to help you in the process.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
And with that, in terms of like the accountability thing, something I love to do, as I mentioned before, is telling my closest friends and family my mantra for the year. So as I spoke in last week's episode, my mantra for this year is let go and let God. And I think I literally told all my friends this. And it's just funny because they, especially when they're like a true friend, they really want you to grow and they want to see you become the best version of yourself. So every time you're going through a struggle, they remind you of that mantra that's your defining why. And it's like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I love that.
For sure. And so our fourth step, I think we're on now, is to really step back and look at the big picture. And I think the best way of doing this is to journal every day and make sure you're like dating it to so you know when you wrote it, and just making sure that you're writing down the small things, and that might help you when you look back at the big picture. And so sometimes you might find yourself, let's just say like it's March and you're feeling unmotivated to want to reach your goals. But if you look back at your journal or just looking back at the big picture in general, just like take a step back. Look where you're at. You're in month 3 of 12. Where are you at in terms of reaching your goals? Maybe you need to reevaluate. Maybe you need to adjust your goals given the certain circumstance of the world like we had in 2020. There might be so many different factors that really play in. But instead of like pushing it aside and not thinking about it, you can really take a step back, look where you're at in terms of the big picture, and then reevaluate. Go and then figure out what your next step is. So with having this step back and looking at the big picture, really just making sure overarching, having the right mentality, and looking back at 2020 not as a setback but a set up for your journey and for a new start, a new fresh beginning, and remembering that you're focusing on your journey and not others, because we all face a different set of challenges in life. And really bringing back what they said in the Skinny Confidential podcast and thinking, when something bad happens, when you're in a big challenge of your life, are you going to be the victim or are you going to be the person that does something about it? And so if this is a push you need, we're telling you to get off your butt and go do it. So
Christine's honestly always the person that's like, just go. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. So you kind of need that friend to, if it's not going to be yourself, you need that friend who's going to just be like, you committed to this, you confided in me, telling me you want to do this, so go do it. So
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and if you need something physical to get you inspired, go on Pinterest, buy some magazines, create a vision board so you can envision your life as it looks in 2021. Do whatever it takes to get motivated, because why be where you're at when you have so much potential to push further?
So with that said, we're going to end this podcast with our quote for the week. So the quote is to stop waiting for it and start making the most of the moment you are in now. And this really resonated with me this week because I'm realizing that there will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a time where every single card in your life is aligned. Take your love life, for example. There will never be a time where every single thing in your life is set and ready and perfect, and the person will walk into your life when everything is good. I feel like if you really want that for yourself, become that person that you love, you know? I was listening to a podcast today about how a lot of people are having like relationship, love issues, whatever it may be. And the first step in that is to write all the things down that you're looking for in a partner and then become that. Because once you find that in yourself, you're realizing that everything you need, you can have right in your own relationship with yourself. So remember that nobody said it would be easy, but nothing worth having comes easy. And it really takes courage to start, and you owe that to yourself. So start.
I love that. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so motivating. It makes me want to get up and like go for a run,
girl.
go for a workout. That's so exciting. I'm feeling very motivated after recording this episode. And also, we wanted to like take some time and thank you guys for supporting us for our first episode that released last week. We got great feedback, and we're so excited for this journey and to see where it takes us. And we have so many ideas down the line to really make this everything we dreamed of. So thank you so much for listening today. We hope that this pod in particular can be a resource for people to come back when you're feeling unmotivated and uninspired. But we're super excited for all that's to come with Sunday Glow. Be sure to check out our website and shop our favorites and subscribe to our newsletter on sundayglowpod.com and follow us on Instagram at sundayglow.pod. We post more than just like updates on our pod. Like we post our favorite handbags on Wednesdays or cozy outfits, or if you live in Atlanta, we'll probably do like a coffee shop recommendations thing on our story. So we really just want to provide value on every one of our platforms. And so be sure to follow us on Instagram. And with that, we hope you guys have the best week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.
Bye.